Hey friends, happy Friday. It's great to be back with you. Today we're going to share how you can create the magnolias 3 different ways. So join me and we'll have a lot of fun learning how to maximize the versatility of this beautiful one-of-a-kind flower. If you and I have not met, my name is Emily with Heartfelt Creations, and here at Heartfelt Creations we love to create beautiful florals many different ways. So if you're like us, join us and we'll have some fun learning how to create these beautiful one-of-a-kind flowers the easy way. Now these are done with a basic shaping of the shaping mold, and then I do some extra things to them to just give them completely different looks. So if you have the sweet magnolia, this will give you some more tips and techniques. If you don't, this will get you started on how you can utilize the versatility of this beautiful, beautiful flower. So this is the sweet magnolia. It has 3 different flower sizes. You can stamp multiples at a time, plus your 2 leaves. And then this is the die that cuts it out. So the very first one we're going to be creating today is our purple one. This one was stamped with the Majestic Violet ink, and we're going to color it with Majestic Violet and the cactus flower. So we're going to go ahead and do some coloring tips and techniques first, and then we'll get right into shaping. So if you're joining me, let me know where you're watching from, introduce yourselves, and tell me what you love about this magnolia. Now, like I said, it is Floral Friday, and each month, first part of the month, we like to focus on a very specific flower and bring you some more tips and techniques on how you can create beautiful flowers multiple different ways, and how you can utilize and create with them very quickly and easily, and really experience the joy of crafting. What that also means is when we are spotlighting a flower like this, you get to save on this flower. If you didn't get it yet, this flower right now you can save 10%. If you are an insider member, you get to save an additional 20% right on top of that, which is an excellent, excellent value. And the versatility of the flower is so amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and just color around those edges, and then you can also add a little bit of that Majestic Violet right in the center if you wanted to have a little bit more shading in there as well. So you can add as much or as little color as you want, and with the way these daubers are designed, you have those sharp tips that you can really go in and just utilize that sharp tip, give it some pressure, kind of lift up as you want to let go, and that gives you a beautiful shaded flower. Is this a flower color you love? There's different flower colors that I have up here. They're so fun to create with, but with this one, what we're going to do is we're going to put this into our shaping mold. Now, if you haven't used these yet, this is kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of cheating with flower shaping, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and lay this in. If you have used these shaping molds before, let us know in the comments what you like about them. But really what this does, it allows you to create those flowers very quickly and very easily without spending a lot of time. And if you're just getting started, it also makes that you get the same beautiful results every single time. Plus, it's time saving, so you can fill this entire shaping mold up. If you haven't used these before, these will run through any machine that has an opening that's 3/4 inches or thicker. So we're going to go ahead and just run this through our machine. And then while that's going through, we'll give you another close-up look at some of those flowers. Sorry, I have a cardstock that's sticking to that. And one thing I want you to know too is if you love what you're learning here today, we did do a class, an online class that was 2 hours in length that showed many more ways to shape this. I think it was like 7 or 8 ways to shape the magnolia. If you are an insider member, you have access to that class, so just go into your classroom vault, and there's going to be one that's called 7 or 8 different ways to shape the sweet magnolia, so you'll want to take advantage of that. If you aren't an insider member, you can become one, and you have access to that class plus 40 additional classes that are all valued at $30 each. So with this one, you could leave it just like this, just press down in the center, but I'm going to do what I call a pinching technique, okay? And before I do that, if you just wanted to use a shaping mold and you wanted to create a flower like you see here, this one was stamped side down. in the shaping mold. This one was stamped side up in the shaping mold. All you have to do is just press down in the middle, layer as many sizes as you want, and you're done. So that is the basics of that one. But today I wanted to take you into just like a little deeper dive into what you can create and show you 3 different ways of how you can shape this sweet magnolia. So I literally just take my fingers and I just pinch the petal tips. So you'll do that to each petal tip. And I'm going to be doing 3 layers. For this one, I am using 3 of the same size, which makes a very nice full flower, but you can choose what you want to do with yours. And the tighter you squeeze, the more distressed or kind of like vintage it's going to look. So you get to choose how much pressure you want to put on those, but just really do kind of that pleating or pinching technique. And I do like to have my flower still pretty wet when I'm doing this. Once you're finished, you're going to go ahead and pop a good sized hole in the center. And I'm using the Golf Shaping Tools. What I love about this is it's a paper piercer that you can continue to go all the way through till you have a really large hole. So go ahead and do this to all 3 of these petals. And as you're watching, tell me what you love about what you're learning. Have you created with a sweet magnolia yet? I know that I love this one, and you'll see it pop up so many times. And at the very end, what I mean by pop up so many times, you'll see our design team members and myself using it so many different ways and at different moments in time. So once we're going to go ahead and use our bridal stamens, I took a white wire. I just clipped the wire off of one of my other stamens I had, and I flipped it over the center of my bridal stamens like that. So it just kind of creates a needle and thread effect. So we're going to go ahead and pull this through the center. And just pull, pull, pull. Now you can, since the bridal stamen pack is all white, you can also color them if you wanted to. So I'm just going to bring in my hot glue gun, and we're going to add just a little bit of glue and press those petals up to make that the center flower is just a little bit more dimensional. Now you can adjust this. Say you're wanting to do some cards for mailing, you would just do a single layer and keep it like that. But if you're going to be doing it more in a package style, or you're going to be hand gifting it, you can do as much dimension as you wish. So you're just going to go ahead, add some more hot glue at the base, and offset those petals. Sorry, that glue just like was raring to drip right off of this. Like, I'm gonna go. Okay, so here we go. Now just remember, when you are creating a flower like this, just offset those petals, and I kind of do just a miniature offset. And this last one, the middle did split a little bit, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hang this flower upside down like that, and we are going to bring that in from the edge and just offset those petals and just hold it there for a little bit. And that creates a beautiful dimensional flower. And all that's left to do is just add your glitter, use your favorite colors, and you have that beautiful one-of-a-kind flower. One thing about the online class I had taught with this that you have access to if you're an insider member is we also learned how to cluster them together with the flowers and the leaves, and then they're ready to add to your card. So that's also something that's in that class, along with how to add the glitter, the glitz, the glam. So that class has 7 or 8 different ways to shape this. Today we're showing you 3. So our next step is going to be creating this flower. This flower is really soft and elegant. It was used on this card, and it's more like your traditional magnolia look, okay? So with this one, we stamped it with white ink, and we embossed it with the aged ivory embossing powder. Just colored it in. You can choose your favorite color of pink, rose madder, magenta hue. But once you've done that, you'll run those through your shaping mold. You're going to have them stamped side down, and you're just going to, that's all you're going to do to it. Then you're going to bring it onto your shaping mat. And again, you're going to go ahead and just press a hole down the center of each of those flowers. The smallest one is going to be utilized first because that's going to be in the middle to make kind of your flower bud. Now you can do double layer of your flower buds. You can do single layer. So you'll see here, these are all double layer. I'm going to do one small one where I'm just going to show you how you can do this. You could add your stamens in the center. I don't have extra stamens here today, so we'll use my stamens I have prepped for the double flower. But I'm just going to go ahead and add some glue to the sides of those petals. And then we'll just bring this up and you'll hold it together like this. And you can have it as open or as closed as you want. That's how you create kind of what I call that single magnolia flower bud that can kind of hold down, and your stamped side is on the outside. Now it's a little bit harder to see on this one on camera, I know, because we use a white ink and the embossing powder. What did I call it? Oh, go back, we'll rewatch it. I always forget the name. I space that name so quickly. So if one of you can drop it in the comments, that would be awesome. So with this one, we're going to go ahead and it's aged ivory, aged ivory. I have to glue that somehow in my brain. Okay, so this is also some stamens from the bridal stamen pack. We're just going to go ahead. I'm going to have those hanging out a little bit further, so we're going to just lock those in with the glue. And then you can give it some time to dry, but you can just kind of pull those petals up and just be kind of patient and gentle with it. And again, do the same thing. Once those petals are kind of in place, we'll put some glue on each side. And if one petal kind of flips back while you're doing this, you can always go back and add more glue. So I'm not super worried about that part. So go ahead and just kind of hold that again, just like we did the first one. And just hold, hold, hold. I find that the second layer is just a tad easier to put down just because you have a flower that you're gluing it to versus its own petals. So you're going to go ahead and just hold that upside down and just put some glue on the back and push that up. And just again offset those petals and you have that beautiful, beautiful flower. So again, just kind of hold that until that glue has bonded. And then you can hang that off of your card like a hanging magnolia. But there's different ways to do this. You do not have to use it like a magnolia. You can also use it like just a freestyle flower, doing different shaping techniques like we're showing you today as well. So lots of variations just based on how you put that together. So as we go along, tell me which one's your favorite. This is the one that we were just creating. Here it is used on a card. So this one is a really pretty dimensional one using some of the branches in the background. This is I feel like this is a must-have branch. It's the sweet magnolia buds, and those really help to anchor those flowers. You can put them in the background, pair them with the leaves, and it's so, so beautiful. At the very end, I'll show you more samples of different ways that you can use those. So just remember, since it is Floral Friday, you're going to save 10% on the Sweet Magnolia collection. You can buy it individually or get the Creative Essentials, which has some of your basics in it. And if you're an Insider member, you'll save an additional 20%. Now, this is the third and final flower we'll be creating today. Isn't that so pretty? So for this one, I used 2 of the largest sized. I used one of the second size and one of the third size for the flower bud. So we're going to go ahead and color this. The colors I'm using on my flower today are a little bit different than the ones here. This one was using vibrant fuchsia and bright tangelo, if you like a little bit more of a bright flower. And this one is using the rose madder in bright tangelo. So you can kind of pick and choose how you want to do that. And I'm going to again show you how to color with these. So just add a layer of your bright tangelo. I'm doing this a lot lighter because the bright tangelo can be pretty bright. So I'm just doing a little bit lighter on this one since we're pairing it with the rose madder and we stamped it with rose madder. So we'll just go around those edges. Now I find with this one, just have fun experimenting with different color combinations and don't be afraid to put together some color combinations that you may not have tried before. One thing that in the online class I taught that has many different ways to shape this one, we also really honed in on how to pair different colors together, which was really, really amazing too. So make sure that you watch that and take advantage of that class if you're an Insider member. If you're not an Insider member, you can join for $12.99 a month, or you can get the entire year for, and you get 3 months free with that. So that's a great way to go as well. Okay, so with this, we're going to have this one stamped side up to put it into the shaping mold. So we'll go ahead and do that. Isn't this so easy? I used to have to shape everything from hand, which took a lot of muscle strength. It took lots of time, and it also created more variations with flowers. So this creates everything very quickly and easily, and makes that you get the same beautiful result every single time. So again, just pop this on top. We'll run this through the machine, and we'll see beautiful, beautiful flowers. Now, the flower I did just previous to this one, you can do that same flower. This was just stamped in a pink, and then added it to the florist wires and the leaves. So you could do more of a bouquet style if you wanted to as well. So lots of variations just based on how you pair and cluster that together, all the way to, just a single layer flower that's perfect for mailing, or something more dimensional, more of a bouquet style flower. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this onto our mat. We're going to add just a little bit of glue into the center of this one, offset this petal, and we're going to just press down. The harder you press, the more dimension that's going to get. Now, I think, did I lose a flower? Oh, it's still sticking to my shaping mold. The little flower bud's like, I'm not coming along. Then we'll do our third layer. And again, just offset this petal. And just pop that in, and you can kind of fluff those petals as you bring that up. And then we're ready to create this beautiful flower bud. Now for this one, I am going to take my my paper, and I'm going to round this out just a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and glue this together. So bring this up, and each one looks a little bit different just based on how you pull it together. I'm going to squeeze it a little bit on the top just to get a little bit of a extra texture in there. So we're going to open this back up, and we're going to add, again, glue on the edges. Glue is what's going to catch it, and you can do 2 petals at a time. Why don't we, actually, you know what, I'm going to bring these all together like this. The reason I did that is because the one that I hadn't glued was squished a little bit more. I wanted that to be more in the center. But you can hold this together, and then you can go ahead and you can kind of pull out. As long as you have a good grip on it, you can kind of pull this out, and you can kind of crinkle that a little bit more. And then before we glue that to the center, I wanted to add just a little bit more of a bright color pop in the top, so you can go back with that bright Tangelo and just kind of go right over the top of that flower bud, and then that just kind of pops it a little bit. We'll add some glue at the base, and we'll add this right into our flower. Oops, that thing was in a super hurry to go down there. If you do that, don't worry about the glue on the side. We'll add some glitter, and that will take care of it. Just going to hold that for a little bit, and there you have that beautiful, beautiful flower that looks completely different from just your basic single or double layer magnolia that's more open. Here's a single layer, here's a double layer, and then here it is with multiples. And for this one, when you cluster it together, you can also do single flower buds just off to the side as well. So lots of variations just based on how you pair those together, how you color them, and all that good stuff. Before I go, I wanted to show you some more samples. Again, the main stamp and die I'm using today is the Sweet Magnolia Blooms, which has 3 sizes and 2 leaves plus your coordinating die and shaping mold. For Floral Friday, this is valid until Sunday. You'll save 10%. You can get it individually or the Creative Essentials. That is a great basic pack that gets you started. So if you don't have those yet, make sure to grab those. And then one of the stamp sets Within the Sweet Magnolia collection that I personally use a lot with it is the Sweet Magnolia Buds. And that one has those little branches that you can easily use as a filler in the background with your decorative dies that you choose to do. If you're a girl, loves your slimline cards, perfect for that. Many of you have this beautiful die, so it's great for your gatefold cards as well. Just love how this is used in the background, using those branches. And just layering and having fun with those beautiful flowers. And remember, we also have the paper collection that coordinates beautifully with it. So you'll see accents and sprays of that in the background. Just look at how this looks all clustered together. So you can pull out your favorite decorative die and pair this flower on top, add your sentiment, add those little branches, and you're good to go. So hopefully this inspires you to create, to pull out those Sweet Magnolias and have some fun. I'm really creating some beautiful one-of-a-kind cards. So thank you for joining me today. Again, if you don't have that yet, this is your chance to grab them. Not only will you be able to create these beautiful flowers, but you'll save 10%. That is valid until Sunday. If you are an insider member, you will save an additional 20%. You'll have access to that online class I was talking about, plus 40 additional classes that we have in there for you. And you also always get free shipping every single day if you're one of our US crafting friends.